Hello, my name is John Jones. I'm a psychic, a channeler, a healer of karma, a spiritual teacher, and a life coach. I'm going to be talking tonight about anti-rejection mechanisms that function within people. Almost everyone has what could be termed anti-rejection mechanisms, and I'll describe what I mean by anti-rejection mechanisms. We all have components of our system, which are components of our ego, and most often our subconscious, which are striving to ensure that we don't get socially or interpersonally rejected or abandoned by other people. Well, we only have two fears in our system, and all of our other fears stem from those fears. One of those fears is an obvious one, fear of death, and or being hurt physically and suffering. The other fear is that of being abandoned emotionally or socially or through criticism or judgment by others. We even fear abandonment via our own self-judgment. We fear judging ourselves, failing ourselves, not living up to our own standards or expectations, not achieving that which we want so much in life. We fear not doing that. Thus, we, in a way, at a subconscious level, can drive ourselves mercilessly in order that we don't fail other people, or we don't fail ourselves, or we don't fail in the attainment of our own goals, or we don't fail what we believe other people expect from us, or so that we don't break certain social rules or interpersonal rules. These mechanisms are constantly watching all of our relationships, all of our interactions with other people. At a subconscious level, they're monitoring those interactions to ensure that we don't say something that will embarrass us, that we don't do something that will hurt us socially or interpersonally or in terms of our social status. Thus, these mechanisms are constantly making decisions for us that we don't know are being made, because quite often and most often they're subconscious. Yet, and so basically you're on, in these areas of your system, you're on autopilot. You're on automatic. You're being driven by your subconscious to function in a certain way. Most people have no clue that that's going on in their systems. They just have an inkling that it would be better to say this rather than that, to be politically appropriate, to not make waves, to not hurt someone's feelings, to say things in such a way that will look good, at least in terms of our understanding of what looking good socially means. And of course, not to offend other people, either in a way that will get us rejected or abandoned or a punch in the nose. So these mechanisms, again, function differently in different social contexts. If you're with your spouse, or with someone you're in a close, intimate, or personal relationship with, you're going to be monitoring certain aspects of the relationship on a consistent basis, such as how they feel emotionally toward you. You're going to be have your radar up, so to speak, your emotional radar, trying to figure out constantly how they feel towards you, how they feel about themselves, how they feel about the relationship, and you're going to be trying to then make your decision, base your decisions from moment to moment to moment based upon that perceived interpretation of the relationship. It's kind of like looking constantly at a radar screen, watching for any bogeys that happen to come in, or negative airplanes or ships or whatever that might come onto the radar screen. And you're going to do everything you can to avoid getting rejected by other people. This includes, by the way, your bosses, people you work with, people you talk to across the counter at the 7-Eleven. I'm not suggesting that you'll care to the same degree in all of those different situations, or that you'll care in the same way in all of those situations, yet you will care. And if you fall from grace, you might say, socially or interpersonally, or in your own eyes or your own heart or your own emotions, you will tend to judge yourself, feel bad, feel ashamed, feel embarrassed, feel guilty, feel sad, or some other negative emotional state, You might punish yourself and say, how could I have said such a stupid thing? How could I have done such a stupid thing? I must be bad. I don't deserve a happy life. I don't deserve to have a good, joyful relationship. You might punish yourself in any number of ways and for any length of time. You might forget not to punish yourself, by the way. You might live a life of self-punishment based upon these interpretations of your own social functionality or relationship functionality. I would suggest that none of these mechanisms is a state of consciousness. I would say that they are a set of training wheels that you're using for a time until you become more conscious to where you don't need them anymore. When you were a child and rode a bicycle, you needed training wheels perhaps on your bicycle to help keep you upright. Once you became very able to ride the bicycle well, you dispensed with the training wheels. They actually became an encumbrance. They held you back from operating the bicycle in a very sophisticated way. You couldn't ride as fast or as smoothly or make sharp turns with the training wheels. The same is true of your anti-rejection mechanisms. Certainly, it's good to have a subconscious. We all need one. Having said that, I would suggest that you can refine and update and upgrade your subconscious so it's not making decisions at the level of a 2, 3, 4, or 5-year-old. And thus you can be more sophisticated in your decision making and in your interpretation of your relationships, your societal interactions of all kinds. And thus you can make wise choices, conscious choices, beneficial choices, and decisions that will enhance your life immensely. These anti-rejection mechanisms are often self-judgment based or social judgment based. And I would suggest that no judgment of yourself is going to make you happy. No criticism of yourself is going to make you happy. No rejection of any part of yourself is going to make you happy. I would also suggest that being constantly worried or anxious about being rejected, judged, or criticized or abandoned by anyone in your world, whoever they may be, in society or work or your love life, I would suggest that none of those concerns is going to help you be happier or be in a state of inner peace within yourself or make you more conscious. However, these anti-rejection mechanisms, for a time, have a purpose in your life. I would not suggest judging your anti-rejection mechanisms. I would not suggest judging yourself. I would not suggest looking at yourself as less because you have these, because everyone's got these to one degree or another. I would suggest, though, you can grow beyond them. You can reach a higher level of consciousness and self-awareness, greater love, greater unconditional love, by the way, not condition-based love, and not selfish love. And you can achieve greater levels of compassion for everyone and for yourself, and in so doing achieve greater joy, happiness, inner peace. And I would hope this for you, if this is what you want for yourself. I'm not trying to tell you to do this. It's just been my experience that it's nice. It's more fun. It's less stressful. And it makes life better in many, many ways that it would take years to describe. I wish you all the best in this endeavor should you choose to pursue it. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and we're going to be signing off for this week, and we'll be back next week. I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you for viewing. Bye-bye.